Hello everyone, I wanted to do a Blu-ray haul of what I picked up from the Criterion flash sale, and plus some others. In my previous video I mentioned my list was 8 videos long. I turned out I bought 5 to cut down, but then I got a little bit enthusiastic and I bought 5 movies elsewhere. They were at the regular price, but I'd always wanted to buy them, so I did. And so let's start with the 5 Criterions that I did pick up in this Criterion flash sale of February 2021. And the first one is Rebecca. And Rebecca is a movie that I've seen many, many times, loaded with extras. It's Hitchcock's, I believe it's his first film. It's certainly his first film in America that was made for David Selznick. There's a nice booklet with it. That's Joan Fontaine and Judith Anderson, is it? I think it is Mrs. Danvers, and here's Laurence Olivier. This booklet includes a essay by David Thompson, who wrote a biography of David Selznick, which I read a few years ago. And it also includes a bunch of memos that Selznick wrote to Hitchcock. And Selznick, of course, was one of the most famous interferers of producers. Hitchcock signed a contract with him because he was so anxious to come to Hollywood and knew what he was in for. So he had to take a lot of interference that later on in his career he was powerful enough, successful enough he didn't have to. Next up is Night in the City, and this is, I think, from 1950. That's Richard Widmark on the cover. It was filmed in the streets of London. The director, Jules Dassin, was already, I think, on the run from the American blacklist, and he spent quite a few years in Europe, and he made a great heist film called Rafifi when he was in France. But I haven't seen this one in a long time, and again, it's got lots of extras on it. It comes with a little fold out. I'll just show you one part of it because it's too big to fold out. This is some great poster art that's included with Night in the City. I think all these Criterions do come with commentaries as well. Next up, Sam Fuller's 40 Guns. This is a black and white Western. I love black and white Westerns from this era, but not only that, it's a black and white scope movie, and by scope I mean 2:3:5 to 1 aspect ratio. I love films, black and white films in that aspect ratio. Barbara Stanwyck, of course, is a star, and Fuller was never, one of my all-time favorites, but he was definitely unique and influential. And in this booklet that comes with 40 Guns, it's includes an excerpt from Sam Fuller's autobiography, and includes the chapter that discusses 40 Guns, its production history, and its appeal to, especially to French filmmakers. But through the years, his influence, Sam Fuller's influence, has been significant. Next up is The Innocence. This is a film based on the Henry James Turn of the Screw. It's, I think, the best one of all those. And again, we have black and white scope, and it's got some of the greatest, moodiest dialogue, moodiest cinematography you're ever going to see. And it also comes with a very small fold-out kind of booklet edition, and with an essay in it, but it's got lots of other stuff on the disc itself. Next up, and the last of the Criterions that I bought in this flash sale, Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, with the great Gian Maria Volante on the cover. It's Elio Petri. I saw and made a short video on his first film, The Assassin. And this is a wild movie. I think it played on the Criterion channel a few months ago. I didn't catch up with it then. I have seen this, as I've seen all these movies before. And none of these 5 Criterions that I've selected are currently being shown on the channel. This comes with a Blu-ray and 2 DVDs, and I was wondering, I thought third disc might be might be the extras, but it is the DVD extras. But all those extras, according to the blurb on the cover, are on the Blu-ray disc as well itself. And here is a very nice booklet that comes with it. Includes a couple long essays. That's the Criterion channel, or the Criterion Collection 5 that I got. And here's some of the other ones that I got. And none of these have much extras, but I just had to have Picnic. I'd seen, I resaw Vertigo in the UHD recently, and I watched Bell Book and Candle, which is leaving the Criterion channel today, but I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times. I love it, and I love Kim Novak, and it got me that I never had this on DVD or Blu-ray before. Picnic. It's James Wong House cinematography. If you've seen it, you probably remember the actual picnic scene with the Chinese lanterns and William Holden there, and Cliff Robertson, Rosalind Russell's in it, Susan Strasberg has a terrific cast in it. And I also got Mr. Roberts. I got this basically because the reviews have been saying that this is one of the greatest looking Blu-rays ever produced, and it's also in widescreen. It is a color movie, and it's got an interesting history to it. The director, John Ford, the original director, had a falling out with Henry Fonda, who had played this part on stage. And of course, Ford and Fonda went back to the Grapes of Wrath and Young Mr. Lincoln and My Darling Clementine. So they had a close relationship, but Mervyn LeRoy, after the fight, it's alleged a fist fight, actually. Mervyn LeRoy had to come in and finish the movie. It's got James Cagney's in it, William Powell's last film, and of course Jack Lemmon won the Best Supporting Actor for Ensign Pulver. And then here's another movie I just absolutely adore, and this is the Quiller Memorandum. It's George Segal. It's a spy movie. It's from the early mid-'60s, I guess, and has a great score by John Barry. Harold Pinter wrote the screenplay. It's one of his best. It's just, for me, a totally rewatchable film. It's got a great cast, great actors. George Sanders is in it, Alec Guinness, Max von Sydow. The interrogation scene of Siegel by Max von Sydow in this is amazing. I just want to briefly show also one reason I love this movie, and that's Senta Berger. And Senta Berger is filmed beautifully in this film, and she remains one of those mysterious Pinter characters that you just sort of can't pin down exactly. It does come with a very small booklet that includes an essay on the film. And next comes another one of my all-time favorites I've never had on Blu-ray before, and that's We'll Stop the Rain. And that stars Nick Nolte, that's Tuesday Well, Michael Moriarty in the corner, Anthony Zerbe's in it, a few other actors of some renown. It's based on a Robert Stone novel, one of my favorite novelists, and it's about the Vietnam War being brought home, and it's about loyalty, friendship. It's got all these great songs, as the title indicates, by Creedence Clearwater Revival. And then last, but definitely not least, is Love Exposure. And this is C.N. Sono's 4-hour, I don't even know what to call it, it's a movie. And it just, if you've never seen a C.N. Sono movie, I'm not even sure, what you would make of the first one you're ever going to see. I've seen about 6 or 7 other Sono movies. He made horror movies and just over the top. Everything he does is over the top, and this is 4 hours long. I think I rented it from Netflix maybe 10 years ago, and I rented it. I know I rented it a couple times because the first time I watched it, I was so stunned by it. And for 4 hours, I was never bored. Even I really didn't have a total grasp of what I was watching. But I'm really anxious to get back and see what I feel about it again today, 10 years later. Okay, that about wraps up what I got from my Criterion Flash Sale Plus, a bonus 5. That does some harm to my bank account. If you got some Criterion releases or any other releases recently. I was amazed. I purchased all these Monday and Tuesday, and they were all here on from 4 different sites. They all were here by either Thursday or Friday morning. So I'm either very lucky with the Postal Service, or maybe it's getting a little bit better. But anyways, you guys take care, and I'll catch you guys next time.